Welcome. And here I just wanted to show some stuff in St. Louis, the 1904 World's Fair. And this was something I'd always wanted to explore. And here's a little look at the festival hall. And here, this is interesting, they're giving us the cost. So 1 million. 1 million flat to build this baby. And just really fascinating, always the same style. I mean, if you were building these kinds of buildings, clearly you have unlimited resources, why not try something else? But no, always the same style. And what an amazing picture. Almost looking unreal in some kind of way. But what we do notice is weathering. That's what always gets me, is these are supposed to be temporary, and yet they look weathered. And here we have the Louisiana Monument, height 100 feet, and a real beauty. And everything that we're going to be looking at is supposed to be temporary. And the story is really fascinating. Not sure how much we'll get into the story today. I really just wanted to share it and just show it to you. We've gone over these stories over and over. It's always the same. And here again, just really seeming weathered, not seeming new, and just way too intricate to be temporary. Just these statues are monsters. And the Palace of Electricity cost $415,000. Only $415 for this one. Really beautiful. And again, we're not just talking about the building. We're talking about the statues, the waterways. Just the waterways alone, I would put a price tag of this, even for this time. But regardless, here we have the Palace of Education and Social Economy. Again, it's not just the building, it's everything around it. Just way overdone for some temporary fair. The Palace of Liberal Arts. I mean, just a couple of these may have sufficed for whatever was going on. Seeming like the most boring World's Fair ever. Just people walking around and not really looking very amused. And this is just a beauty. The Palace of Varied Industries, $650,000. Varied Industries, not even a specific designation. Similar to saying the random building. And here we have the Palace of Machinery, 1,000 feet by 500, cost 510,000? Maybe that's a 3. Just amazing and looking weathered and very untemporary. Beautiful. And, just not a single person on this particular day. And really looking like stonework or blockwork. This does not look like some kind of plastering, as they tell us. This seeming like metal, and amazing antiquitech, probably mercury-filled bowls, and really the buildings looking almost exactly like the buildings in the Chicago World's Fair, and the San Francisco Pan American World's Fair. Here the Palace of Arts, and just a monster. I mean, every level doubles the price of the building, and we're talking about a temporary event. Build it half the size. That would be adequate. And the Palace of Manufacturing, another 720,000, merely. And the Palace of Mines and Metallurgy, 500,000. And again, these bridges and waterways. There's no way to build a temporary bridge like this. I mean, this is the real deal. And in some cases, the last things left standing. I'm not sure. Some of these may be temporary, but not seeming like something we would build for temporary usage. just way overdone and way over the top, more than anyone would expect or require. The Palace of Transportation. And here, just a beautiful castle. And this clearly looking like stone or brick, not seeming temporary at all. The administration building. So, according to them, yes, temporary. And the United States government building, just very generally, and really impressive. Looking like anything, anywhere in the world. And this could be a Capitol building, or in past times, a post office, a courthouse. And here a little look at the evening illumination of the festival hall. I think that's the first one that we saw. Palace of Electricity, and really just top-notch architecture, design, technology. I mean, this place is just perfect. Water features. I mean, this thing is just amazing. Just for some silly fair where 20, 30, 50 years later, tents would suffice for fairs. And the fairgrounds of today are nothing to admire. Quite the opposite. And the grand stairway to the Western Pavilion. Just mind-blowing. The amount of detail. And again, I mean, were the stairs temporary? And just beautiful. Maybe I was trying to avoid this because I felt it would be this amazing. And really, you know, the population of St. Louis at the time, pretty large for the time, about 500,000. And we can see here, St. Louis City, 1890, 1900, about 575,000. Missouri itself, about 3 million. And here the French building. Just seems like they had a surplus of buildings, and the French building seems to be a little run down. Looks like they didn't really tidy it up, probably on the perimeter. And the English building, again, a little muddy over here, a little unkept. And the German building, just amazing. What a glorious one, actually. And this super antiquitech lighting here, just a beauty. I've never seen this model before. Nor this German building, just machine-like as could be. Portholes up here, this railing, super cool. And a few more beauties, as if that wasn't enough, as if these people don't look bored enough. But no, they need more buildings to walk around, probably in the heat. No refreshments seem to be seen. And here we go, the Oregon State Building. So here, you know, they're reminding us of really what, you know, the Old West and really early America should be consisting of. I mean, this is what these people are probably going back home to, besides the ones that have inherited these glorious buildings. And here we have the Oregon State Building, just a little log cabin, just to remind us of the reality. Not sure. And the Utah Building, and you know, this is just starting to get ridiculous now. Just, you know, clearly these had some other purpose, and they're clearly old, and they've just slapped these designations on them all. Not sure what to do. Why did the Kansas State Building need so much antiquitech? They just ran out of flags at this point. They just left the antiquitech up here. And Texas Building, just a beauty. The Indiana. I mean, what was going on here? The New Mexico. And again, notice the people. I mean, you paid an admission for this? How strange. Now she's going to go walk into this, what seems like abandoned, ghostly, prior civilization building. Nothing going on again. How did they even sell tickets to this? Unless people were lovers of architecture. And this is the real deal. I'm sorry, but this is not temporary. if you can't see the weathering, if you can't tell a false plant from a real one, then perhaps you might not notice a real building from a false building. I'm not sure why it seems so obvious. And however, I have seen false buildings at World's Fair pictures, and it does seem clear which ones are temporary and which ones are just basically junk. And yet these, with their aged trees and landscaping and overgrown landscaping, and just, here, the West Virginia State Building. What's going on here? Look at this amazingness. These styles that we don't see today. Just amazing and futuristic for the past. And it just looks mud flooded. There could be another level under here, and overgrown, and currently still abandoned. I mean, just selling tickets to something that belonged to a prior people, not even knowing what to do with them, just designating them with every single state in the nation, and they don't seem to even fit the states. The California, the Illinois, and this one is really cool. The Travelers Protective Association building, the Kentucky, the Missouri, General Grant's log cabin. Again, just a little reminder of reality, a little reality check here. Log cabin, a little bit of brick, nothing fancy, just the essentials, nothing more. And the entrance to the Philippine reservation. I mean, this is ridiculous. Just the bridge alone would have cost a fortune across this waterway with this amazing style and clearly old. The Philippine reservation, here we go. Just again, probably on the outskirts of this older city. The Alaska building, and I'm not sure what's going on with this one. This is where I kind of got lost. Just beautiful, and I'm not even sure if we're still at the St. Louis Fair here. I don't know, because this just looks so old and weathered and amazing. And here they're telling us the castle, the Tyrolean Alps. I'm not sure, perhaps this actually was there, and that's just mind-blowing. The castle in the Irish village, I mean, this tells me that this was there, and this was actually the one that just blew me away, that this would actually be told to us, that this was a World's Fair temporary building. Just amazing and mind-blowing, and we'll just move on. And here, some people in costume, a Russian dancing girl. So I don't know. Look at the building behind her. I mean, I don't know. Again, this doesn't look temporary. This looks like block work back here. And amazing, non-mortared block work. And I don't know, is this her home? Very difficult to say what we're seeing. Well, I guess that's it for today. I do hope you enjoyed, and do have a blessed day. And please like, comment, and subscribe.